So when they came down, they now went into the women and they started their business. That was the main thing they came to do, but they didn't stop there. Now, this is what I'm about to tell you now is going to tell you are going to understand why the first destruction of the world came about. When they came down without God's consent, because the only way an angel can come down is if he's sent on a message, and the only angels that can come to this earth are who? The archangels, which is the messenger. We have Gabriel, and we have Raphael, and we have Uriel. Gabriel is only sent for an important mission. So when they came down, after they finished what they wanted to do, and then the next thing was that they couldn't go back to heaven. Why? Because God blocked the only way they could go back to heaven. And now we are also forgetting something. Before I continue, I want to tell us a secret. Space does not exist. If you like, come and meet me. I will tell you, space does not exist.
Don't worry. Next video, we'll explain. We'll give you reasons. You just go and search for yourself and just find out for yourself.
Yes.
The next video, don't worry. The next video.
So back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
When they came down, after having the children, then they said they didn't stop there. Then they started teaching man sin. They started teaching man sin, and when they were teaching man sin, it continued until the kind of sin I mean was that they were teaching technology, and they were teaching witchcraft, sorcery, different things we do now. They did it before. They didn't do it because it was a way of teaching, because God didn't create us to know all these things. He just created us, eat, grow old, die, that's all. But then when they came down, they started doing all these things. The leader Azazel, what he taught man was how to make weapons.
Oh.
All these weapons of war, he taught man how to do it. Yes. The second leader, he taught women how to make makeups. There is a black substance they used to rub in their eye. They call it kohl. Yes, they call it kohl. When you rub it, you look very enticing. They taught man the mystery of the earth. Yes, because we didn't have any idea at that time. No, we didn't know any mystery. Nothing. We all know that you eat, you grow old, and the oxygen at that time was very conducive. It was very conducive. A man can live up to 500 years, 300 years without getting tired. Yes, you can walk a long distance without doing I'm tired. No, you can't do that, because the oxygen then the trees were very big. If you watch this movie, let me tell you also how they manipulate these things and then they make it their ideas. I'm talking about the Americans. So if you watch the movie Avatar, the Avatar that they released The Way of Water, and they're about to release the season 3, I wish I say the part 3. That tree in Avatar 1, that big tree, is an example of how the trees grew in those days. It was very huge, and there is a whole community, like a whole of Jalingo, can live under one tree because of the hugeness, because of the oxygen at that time. God made sure that He blessed us abundantly. Even as what Adam and Eve did, He was still blessing us. One man, you can't stand before one man. We are even small. Now we are just tiny. It's all the sins that happened in those days. When they were teaching all these things, they continued and continued. There is a tribe in those days that the women drink something. I don't know what they call it, the concoction. And when they drink it, they will stay single. They will stay without baby. They call them single mothers now, right? You will see a woman is running her runs. She doesn't have child.
Yeah.
Yes, it damages the womb. All these things were taught by the angel, by the fallen ones. They call them the fallen ones. So back to what I was saying. When the women, the humans, when they produced that baby, when they gave birth, the baby looked small, normal as a normal child. But then when they started growing up, what did they do? Do you know what happened? They started exhibiting characters of giants. Giants that we watch in movies. It was real.
Okay, I always kind of the giant slayer.
Yes, it was real. They are called abomination. They are the abominations. They are the Nephilim. Because when they grew up, they were not black as human beings were when God created them. Their skin color changed. It was different. They were growing huge, bigger than man. And then when the food of earth was not enough, they started killing and eating flesh. Because they have two genes inside them. Just like this, what do they call it? Bulldog.
Yeah.
It's not a natural dog now.
Yeah.
Yes, you see two dogs, let me say wild animal and a dog.
Yeah.
You mix the gene and then you have a bulldog. That's how it was. So they started eating and killing and drinking human blood. I tell you this, even these jets that you know, it was all taught by them. Just take it that all the technologies were taught by them. The Americans didn't just grow up, wake up one day and decided to make a plane. It's a lie. Researches that went on in the 80s, in the early 80s, they say that when they went to ancient Egypt, they found the blueprints. You know blueprints?
Yeah.
You see American movie, they make a plan. The blueprint of a missile launcher that is working now, that can destroy a whole country. It was used in those days. In those times, the ancient times. So when this was happening, people were crying to God for help. That was when the angels who came in intervened. The angels were Angel Michael, which is the head, Angel Gabriel, Angel Raphael, and Angel Uriel. These four angels saw what was happening. When they looked down, they saw the blood of innocent people shedding everywhere. They were crying for help, and then they took it upon themselves. And then that was when Michael went up to God in his mighty throne. This place, I'm telling you, Enoch, when Enoch was describing it, I felt the glory. I felt joy when I was hearing it. The way he described God. Enoch doesn't call him he doesn't just call him God. He calls him the God of spirits. They say that, he said, Angel Michael went to the throne of God, the God of hosts, the God of spirits. He knelt before him face down, and he told him what Azazel was doing. And he said, look down and see what Azazel and his followers are doing. They are shedding blood. They have committed abomination. That which they were not programmed to do, which they were not created to do. God didn't create them just to procreate. No. They are there to intercede for us. They are just there as messengers of God. They don't have the right to procreate. So when he complained to God, and then God saw what happened, God was greatly angered. This means that it's not like he didn't know what happened, he knew what was happening. That is why you see they will tell us in church, when you have any problem, talk to him. He will answer you. It's not like he didn't see what was happening. He saw what was happening. I'm trying to tell you two things I don't know. But then there had to be an intercession. If they didn't tell you, he wouldn't have done anything anytime soon. Not that he can't do anything, but he wants you to talk. Tell him your problem. And also, angels intercede for humans. Because